Alright, this is a sample app that I posted a while ago with a bunch of US state data and population stuff, just some sample data to experiment with and try doing some grouping. And so in the previous sample I had set up this list of column names, and you can click a column name from this group by table and it will take you to the data grouped by that column. So it's going to just reuse this same table view and keep regrouping it by whichever column that you choose. Only a few of them really make sense in this example, but you can see that it's grouping by whatever column header you pick and just reusing that same view. So with this new update, I got an idea from a recent post here and wanted to update this so that you don't have to jump back and forth between views to change what you're grouped on. And so what I ended up doing is creating some inline actions next to each one of these. Let me get to just the table view. And so there's a inline action next to the state that groups by state. There's one next to the city that groups by city and the county. And so if I start with this plain table view, I can group by the counties, and then while I'm still on this same view, group it by state or by city. And so it's just reusing the same view and taking you right back to that same view with a different grouping without having to reset the view to get your grouping back or jump back and forth between one of these views to create the grouping. So it's a little more direct, and it just keeps the user right there on the same view to group it. With the downside that this button appears everywhere, on every row. So it'd be great if you could like double click the column header and create a grouping and just have it in one spot. But for now you can link it next to every single column type that you'd like to group by. So real quick, I'll show you one of the examples. It is just doing a link to the view name, grouping it by some column name, and then in this case I'm putting in the column name, hard coding it for the certain button that's going to be in line next to a certain column. And so I'm using row number for the state and a couple other unused columns for the other inline actions. So the other actions, the dynamic one where you don't know what you're grouping it by, it's just taking the column name from my group by table. That's the one that's a list of all the column names here. So if I want to group by city, it looks at that column name, whereas these new ones are hard-coded. This always groups by county, and this one always groups by this one's city and then state. So just a fun grouping experiment using the URL parameters there and a sample data set of counties. Hope you all enjoy. Thanks.